but they can have a picture of them and they have to share.
What's going on, kings and queens? This is King Hollis live at one of the first Marcus Garvey museums ever created. I think what's it, the second? It's the second, right? The first and second. Yeah, end of that. I ain't speaking. I ain't speaking till it's time to speak.
First Muslim museum in the entire Caribbean and the only one in the world that's dedicated to Marcus Garvey's life, work, and it's the, as I said, a multimedia space, so you can walk around and interact with the space. We also have a short documentary that you can watch before so the context of the space, and then you can watch. Let's start.
Okay. Just one thing.
Alright.
Just the manner we're saying thank you.
Okay.
Alright, so we see on to another group and we say thank you.
Okay.
Well done.
Alright, thanks for coming.
Okay, inside, we're getting a tour.
You can have us.
Okay, we're getting to get ready to watch Marcus Garvey moving there. Okay.
I have the
The Friends of Liberty Hall and the Ministry of Education and Culture present The Mission of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, born in St. Anne's Bay, August 17, 1887, at a time when Africa was being taken over by Europe. About 50 years earlier, in the British West Indies, the abolition of slavery brought impressive gains for people of African descent. But these gains were soon eroded. Almost everywhere in the region, descendants of Africa were denied social, economic, and political opportunities, relegated to the lower levels, ostracized. At 14, Garvey left school because his father had fallen on hard times. He was apprenticed in St. Anne's Bay to his godfather, Mr. Burroughs, to learn printing. Burroughs had a positive influence on Garvey, allowed him to use his extensive home library. By age 18, Garvey was in Kingston, working for a large printing firm, P.A. Benjamin, which automatically denied equal opportunity to people on the ground of color. He was determined to change things. He became politically active and made the acquaintance of the formidable Dr. Robert Love, one of the early advocates of social reform, who was himself a newspaper publisher and editor. But Garvey needed to learn more about the outside world and to earn some good money, so he went to join his uncle in Costa Rica. Much later he said, "Chance has never satisfied the means by which the oppressed have realized the light of their own freedom." Young Marcus Garvey went to Costa Rica in 1910. He worked as a timekeeper on a banana plantation, traveled to Bocas del Toro, Ecuador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Colombia, Venezuela. Everywhere he found the same thing. People of African descent living under oppressive conditions and getting the worst of things. He lectured, set up work.
You need to tell us more.
Alright, so the space is broken up into three parts. Over here, to my left, we have the Africa exhibit along with the self-identity screen, where we speak about issues of colorism in Jamaica specifically. You can also learn about the continent Africa, every country there, about their resources. A brief history is on the screen. This middle section is about Garvey's political affiliation or involvement and activism, along with some of the memorabilia that we have collected over the years. And the side that you're coming from showcases the Garveyites, those who either worked with him or studied and still studied his philosophy and opinions. And that's the space in a nutshell. It's an interactive space, so we would like you to just walk through and interact. If you have any questions as you're going through, I'll be able to please ask.
that, I guess that medal is his national hero.
Yes, posthumously he was given this as a national hero, and it was given to us for safekeeping and to showcase as well.
Got this in 1969. Wow. That's when I went to Sydney. I did some work in Sydney. Wow. I guess it's the first one, right? The first edition of the Philosophy and the Opinion that you got. That's what it looks like. His wife edited it, Amy Jakes Garvey. So she was the one that picked up all the women.
To get his body exhumed and sent
Oh,
back.
really? So it wasn't Edward Seaga then?
Yes, she wrote him. He brought it to the then Prime Minister, Alexander Bustamante, and he brought it.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have half what we have now.
Wow. Really? There's two Amy,
Two
right?
Amy's. Amy
That was the
Ashford.
second, right? That was the secretary.
The secretary was the second one.
Amy Asher.
Amy Ashford was his wife. Amy Jakes was her friend and his secretary. So he before Amy Ashford was the first wife, got married to Amy Jakes.
Second one.
Second one.
So you had two. I heard it was the third Amy. Did you ever hear that? Somebody told me it's a third.
I wouldn't doubt.
Paul, Mr. Garvey, yeah?
Because even Amy Ashford Garvey, when they attempted to kill him, she actually jumped between the gunman and Marcus Garvey, but he got shot. He got shot in his face and in his head. So she jumped in front of it. So he had some power that commanded him to do almost anything.
Wow.
For him.
So you say honestly Mr. Garvey was a womanizer?
I wouldn't say
He
so.
likes women, yeah. Okay, he said you can't live with them and you can't live without them. That's what he said.
I heard of he said miserable a number of times. And I was listening to him, he said could be sweet, beautiful, and yet still miserable.
Exactly.
Which he's not lying about.
Right.
Everything is true.
I heard he has his own private quarters where he would he would just go back and by himself for times.
Yes,
He
yes,
just
and
go
there is
just-
on, I think on this screen, or I think it's that screen, where his son speaks about it, that he would just go for days, just withdraw himself from the family, but his father was just like that. But even...
Go ahead.
Shake your hand,
Greet her, man.
Okay.
What's up, man? No, yeah, it's
I'll have a look at it.
yeah,
But
but
it's
please
not,
do.
it's not far from
There's also another place up there in Papini. Somebody was telling me that he was ended like a jail cell up there, and since then it has never been open. So there are actually two doors that were never open.
What you mean with two doors and never
The
open?
prison door is the one that you walk through, the general penitentiary in Spanish Town. That's never been open since he went through that door up to this day. And the one in Papini, you need to do some research on that.
I have to.
What did they tell you about Bagawaya?
You know, I've heard of it. I've heard.
Bagawaya is the one of the traitors of Marcus Garvey. You know,
Yes.
people that want to be like
Yeah, hey.
king,
Yeah,
but they can never be.
Yeah, I
So they
know
actually
about
sold
it.
them out, yeah.
Yeah.
So they call him Bagawaya to this day. Yeah, he walks around.
Yes. Yes.
All right, yes.
Yes, we do. Park.
Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Rain is on.
Oppressed. You're oppressed. The mindset is, I just gotta get mine. You know, you want a quick money. When you get a quick money, you don't have a plan. So even if you get that quick money, you know, even some of these gangsters are not even thinking about how can they turn some of this money to the children's systems and so forth. I mean, look at the Italians
Kind of.
all over the world. You know, many people say that the revolution is dead. They say that it's not still moving and that the black people are completely obliterated. And that we no longer walk this earth with strength and power. But we stand here today at the Museum of Marcus Garvey, the Messiah, the first true black president of black people. And I tell you, we're stronger than ever. Like I said before I walked on this lot, I said the revolution ain't dead. Men are just scared. The first thing I want to talk to you about is fear. And Marcus Garvey spoke about it often. It was one of the weakest characteristics a black man or a black woman can have. Because it's a false imagination appearing real. You gotta have the strength to stand up and fight for your people. Fight for something bigger than yourself. Many men sell out their own people. And since the beginning of time, the black man has been sold out by his own people. His woman sold, raped. His daughter sold, raped. And we sat there and we let it happen. Like we didn't have the power to stop it. You know, I watched many movies about slaves and all our people being in bondage. It never was our arms and our legs that was in bondage, it was our minds. They didn't want us to open our minds to see the power that we have and the abilities to bend the universe on command with a voice. You see, I realized something, that in order for us to move forward as a people, we gotta march together. We gotta stand in the valley of darkness and not run from it, but run towards it with conviction. Understanding that anything that touches us will be killed and will be taken off this earth because enough of us have died. Marcus Garvey spoke about it. He said one day, the Queen gave another man permission to take his people, put them on islands in different countries and make them build. Show them how we built pyramids, show them how we built businesses, show them how we built this earth. And when they were done with us, they were gonna throw us in a dumpster. The condition that we're in right now. We're gonna strip them of all their knowledge and we're gonna leave them in this dumpster. Dumb, blind, and stupid. Until they get so frustrated, they start to kill each other. Like a pack of wild dogs. But just like the great Marcus Garvey said the day they captured him, you may have captured me, but my cubs is running loose. I just want to send a message out there to any fake gangster, any fake leader, that those cubs are no longer cubs. We're men. And we're willing to give our life to save our people's life. You think Garvey is dead? He's alive and well. And he's living through every single one of these brothers that stand in this video right now. I want you to know something, my black people. I want you to know that we are the most powerful being that ever was created. We built with the bloodline of royalty. And even when you kill us, our spirit lives strong. So I challenge you today, Jamaica. I challenge you to turn those guns from your brothers and sisters and point them towards the streets for where the soldiers come to attack you. Look your oppressor in the face and tell him, I won't die on this block. I won't die for this white man's property. I'm gonna die for my brothers and sisters. I'm gonna die for the babies that don't have meals when they wake up in the morning. I'm gonna die for that old black man that's sitting in that neighborhood preaching knowledge and they wanna kill him. I'm gonna fight for those activists that was murdered in these neighborhoods by their own brothers and sisters. I ask you, are you gonna be a coward or are you gonna be a lion? That choice is up to you. Because those men on top of that hill, they waiting for you to die so they can take your country, take your culture, take your heritage, And when the world asks who created that, they're gonna say it was me. Dear young dumb black boy, you gotta be a man today. Because you got two choices in this life. Live or die. What you gonna die fighting for? Your brothers or the other man? The revolution ain't dead. Them boys was just scared. We back, and we better than ever. The pyramid stands, the fist stands, the black flag stands, and Marcus Garvey's soul lives on forever. Rest in peace, Paul Bogle. Rest in peace, Nanny of the Maroons. Rest in peace to the greatest black man to ever walk this earth, Marcus Messiah Garvey. Jamaica today, Jamaica for tomorrow, Jamaica forever. Dear white man, you cannot have us.
Change will come. That's how we have to do it.
Greatest black man ever. The greatest black man ever. The greatest black man ever, Jamaica. Don't let them take our country. The greatest black man ever. We back. The revolution ain't dead. They just was scared.